Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you my complete SEO checklist so you can get more #1 rankings and organic search traffic from Google. And watch until the end because tip number 7 is something that your competitors are likely ignoring. Let's dive right in. My name is Nathan Gotcha. I'm the founder of Gotcha SEO, and I've led hundreds of successful SEO campaigns and have trained thousands of SEO professionals in my program, Gotcha SEO Academy. So in case you're new here, this training video is a part of the SEO Mastery series I'm leading here on Semrush's YouTube channel. All of the previous lessons in this series are below this video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button because you'll get first access to the next video in this series. All right, let's jump into this awesome SEO checklist. So number 1, are you tracking the right SEO KPIs? So there are many keyword performance indicators for SEO, but there are really only a few that matter. Number 1 is total organic search traffic growth, and you can track this inside Google Analytics. I personally recommend measuring it on a monthly basis, but annual growth is best for SEO because it takes time. Number 2 are total organic keywords, which you can track with Semrush. So go into Semrush, enter your domain, and go to organic research and look at keywords. This is how many keywords your website is ranking for in the top 100. Number 3 is total linking root domains. So as I'll explain in a second, backlinks are one of the most important ranking factors, but more specifically, your overall website authority has a big influence on rankings. That's why you see super strong websites like Yelp and Amazon ranking for so many different keywords. And that's also why you need to track your link profile growth on a monthly, quarterly, and annual basis. So go to the link building section in Semrush and look under referring domains. This should be growing over time. So the next checkpoint on this list is number 2, is your website crawlable and indexable? So there are many factors that impact crawlability and indexability, but some of the biggest include your website's architecture, more on this in a second, your page experience, your robots.txt file, and tags like no index, which could prevent Google from crawling pages on your website. So in the Semrush audit section, click on issues, look for the category dropdown, and then select crawlability. Semrush will then show you all of the possible issues that could negatively affect crawlability. Then repeat the same process except change the category to indexability. Once again, you'll see exactly what could hurt your indexation. So tackle these items ASAP because if Google can't crawl your pages, they won't be indexed. And if they're not indexed, it's impossible to rank. Number 3, does your website pass Core Web Vitals? So Google recently stated that Core Web Vitals is a ranking factor. So you need to do everything in your power to improve loading speed and page experience. So while in the overview tab on the audit, you'll see the new Core Web Vitals score from Semrush. Click view details and you'll see the exact pages you need to improve. Now the cool part about optimizing your site for Core Web Vitals is that most changes will have positive effects on a site-wide basis, meaning you won't need to go page by page optimizing for Core Web Vitals for most of your pages. Number 4, are all of your pages 3 or fewer clicks deep? So your pages shouldn't be more than 3 clicks deep into the architecture. Otherwise, it could hurt crawlability and indexability. So go to the crawled pages tab in the Semrush audit, click on more filters, select crawl depth from the dropdown, and then select 4+ clicks from the second dropdown. Now you'll know what pages you need to push further up into the architecture. Number 5, do your most important pages have enough internal link coverage? So the fastest way to find such pages is to use Semrush's internal link rank in the audit. First, while still on the crawled pages tab, click the dropdown and select internal link rank. This is a proprietary score mechanism created by Semrush, which gauges how much authority and link equity a particular page has. So if a page has many internal links from pages with many backlinks, the ILR score will be much higher. And a low score is an indication of poor internal link coverage. So on the second dropdown, you can select less than 10, and then you'll see some pages that need more internal link love. Number 6, have you added internal links to your most powerful pages? So driving more internal link coverage among relevant pages is super important. However, you should prioritize pages that have existing backlinks and add internal links to those pages. This will send authority to the pages you're trying to rank and give them a nice boost. So to find these pages, go into Semrush, enter your domain, go to Backlink Analytics, and look under the top pages section. These are your most linked to pages. And then look for opportunities to add internal links where it makes sense. Number 7, have you identified low-hanging fruits? So these are keywords ranking from positions number 2 to number 15. So go into Semrush, enter your domain, go to the organic keyword section, and then click on the positions tab, and then the positions drop down and enter 2 and 15 in the custom range. And now you'll have access to all of your low-hanging fruit keywords. And these are keywords that you need to prioritize because with some simple optimization and maybe some backlinks, you can push the rankings up and you'll see a big spike in organic search traffic. In fact, according to a study conducted by Backlinko, the number 1 spot gets 31% of the total clicks for a keyword, while the number 5 spot only gets 9% of the clicks. That means if you go from position number 5 to number 1, it will produce huge organic traffic gains. So that's why you need to focus all of your initial efforts on these low-hanging fruits. Number 8, have you identified clustering opportunities? So if a page isn't ranking in the top 50, then there's a good chance that the page isn't targeted enough. For example, look at this keyword that Semrush is ranking outside of the top 50 for, which is which targeting option is best for achieving brand awareness. So notice that the page is about YouTube targeting options, and this page isn't targeted enough to rank for this long tail keyword phrase. This is a clustering opportunity because you can create a dedicated page for this particular keyword phrase and it will rank much better. Just remember that Google's number 1 goal is to deliver the most relevant results possible. So with that said, these clustering opportunities are an awesome way to capture more organic search traffic and build more topical relevance, which will improve the performance of all pages in that cluster. Number 9, do you have keyword cannibalization? So keyword cannibalization is when you have 2 or more pages targeting the same exact keyword phrase, and it's detrimental to your SEO performance because it forces Google to decide which page is best for that keyword. And you don't want Google making those decisions. It's your job to direct Google. In fact, John Mueller, the search advocate at Google, said this about keyword cannibalization. We just rank the content as we get it. And if you have a bunch of pages with roughly the same content, it's going to compete with each other, kind of like a bunch of kids waiting to be first in line, and ultimately someone else slips in ahead of them. Personally, I prefer fewer stronger pages over lots of weaker ones. Don't water your site's value down. So the quickest way to identify keyword cannibalization is to use Semrush's position tracking tool. So go to keyword research and click on position tracking, then click on new position tracking to start a new project. Enter your target keywords, and once the scan is complete, open up the project and then click on the cannibalization tab. This will show you instances of keyword cannibalization for the keywords you specifically entered. Number 10, is your existing SEO-driven content good enough? So before you ever do on-page SEO, you first need to ask if the page itself is different and better than what's currently ranking. So you need to go through this exercise with a completely objective mindset. So if your page is just another Me Too piece of content, then optimizing it may produce short-term gains, but it won't last. What produces long-term results in SEO is creating pages that are truly unique. That means you need to find angles that haven't been used before. Now keep in mind, you're still satisfying the intent, but the content itself needs to be different than what's currently ranking. Number 11, have you optimized your pages the right way? So at the most basic level, your primary keyword should be in your URL, title, H1 tag, first sentence, and last sentence. But to take things up another notch, I recommend using Semrush's on-page SEO checker. Go to the on-page and tech SEO section, click on the on-page SEO checker, and start a new project. Click on import keywords and pages, then select your preferred option. In this example, I'll use manually. Then enter your target URL and the exact keyword phrase you want to rank for, and then click collect ideas. Semrush will then show you how to optimize the target page from a strategy, content, semantic, technical, UX, and even link building perspective. So just make sure you benchmark your performance today and then execute on all of these recommendations that Semrush is giving you. Number 12, have you created new content to build topical authority? So one of the best ways to improve the performance of any SEO-driven page is to build more relevant supporting assets around it. So this builds topical relevance and authority. And I recommend using alsoask.com to find ideas that are appearing in the People Also Ask section on Google. Number 13, do you have linkable content? So my favorite and most scalable link building method is to build linkable assets. In other words, create content that people actually want to link to. So the truth is that most people try to steamroll through thousands of link prospects and they're simply playing a numbers game. And while this does work to get initial traction, it's not the best long-term strategy and it's actually not super scalable. So just take a look at the 3 most linked to pages on gotchaseo.com. The first is my backlinks guide, the second is my SEO audit guide, and the third is my anchor text guide. These are all super long pieces of content, and I haven't spent a single second trying to acquire backlinks to these posts. All I did was try to create something incredibly valuable and different, and then I just promoted it to my email list. That's it. People have naturally linked to these pages because there's nothing else like it. But the truth is that there are certain types of content or assets that are proven to be linkable. But before I show you those, you need to find ideas that have proven linkability. And the best method is to simply look at your close competitors or websites in your vertical who you don't compete with. So go to Semrush, go to the backlink analytics section and enter a competitor's domain into the search. Scroll down and click top pages. These topics and the content itself are now your frameworks for what people like to link to in your specific industry. You can, of course, take the same topic and put a twist on it or use it as inspiration to create a unique angle. Number 14, do you have enough website authority? So one of the most important link building key performance indicators or KPIs is your total number of unique linking root domains. In other words, how many unique websites are linking to your website? And this is a critical ranking factor and it needs to be growing over time to improve performance and narrow the gap between you and your competitors. So open up Semrush, enter the domain, and then go to the backlink gap tool. Semrush will auto-suggest competitor domains, but if you want to use different competitors, then go back to the organic research and click on competitors, and then copy and paste 1 to 4 competitors into the backlink gap tool. Semrush will then provide you with authority score and referring domains. And if there's a gap, you'll need to work to narrow this. Otherwise, beating your competition will be extremely tough. Now, narrowing the domain level link gap is just one piece of the puzzle though. You also need to narrow the gap on the page level as well, bringing me to the next point on the SEO checklist, which is number 15. Do your critical SEO driven pages have enough backlinks? So you can execute all of the previous steps perfectly and still not rank if you don't have enough backlinks. So go into Semrush, go to the keyword overview tool and enter the keyword you're trying to rank for. Scroll down to the SERP analysis and collect the average referring domains for the top 10 competitors. That becomes your target. Now copy your target URL, go to the backlink analytics section and enter your target URL. Look under referring domains, and if there's a backlink gap between you and the top 10 competitors, then you need to work to narrow it. Number 16, are your backlinks high quality? So high quality backlinks will have 5 characteristics. Number 1, relevance. So you should prioritize link opportunities that are closely relevant to your website and what you offer. For example, if you're a Los Angeles personal injury lawyer, then in a perfect world, you would get links from other Los Angeles personal injury lawyers. But of course, this isn't practical because A, your competitors won't be willing to link to you, and B, the pool of opportunities will be tapped out very quickly. So that's why it's important to understand the concept I created called the Relevancy Pyramid. In short, as you go down the pyramid, the link opportunities will become less relevant, but more abundant. And that's why you need to start at the top of the pyramid and then work your way down to less relevant opportunities. Now, keep in mind, getting links from extreme authority websites like New York Times or Huffington Post are always good links, even if they aren't super relevant. Number 2 is traffic. So if a website has organic search traffic, then Google somewhat trusts it, and the opposite is true as well. Go into Semrush and enter the domain you want to score a backlink on. If they have organic search traffic, then you're good to go. Number 3 is authority. So websites with more authority will give you more bang for your buck. Number 4 is link quality. So it's easy to manipulate many third-party metrics that you'll find. So that's why it's important to analyze the actual link profile of the opportunity. So go into Semrush and enter the target domain and then click on backlinks. Then examine the backlink profile, and if they look high quality, then move on to the next step, which is number 5, editorial standards. So if it's hard to get a backlink on a website, then it's more valuable. And the opposite is true as well. If it's easy to get a backlink, then it's less valuable. For example, anyone can get a link on Facebook, which is why it has no value. However, it's very difficult to get a backlink on Forbes, which makes it much more valuable. So that is the ultimate SEO checklist. Review this video and start executing on my recommendations today. So if you got value, please like this video and subscribe below right now. And don't forget, you can watch the rest of the videos in this SEO Mastery training series below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I show you how to rank a real website from scratch. I'll see you soon.